Welcome to Al Shishi, and thank you for joining us. Very chashav Rav in Montreal, the Jibbodain. So he said over that he said over Avarth, and now is the season of Pirkei Avos, Perek Shir by Haim Shir Rabbanim. It's a big feature of Shabbos afternoon. Says Shir Pirkei Avos. So he said over the Mishnah in the Bryce that the Paragraph of Avos talks about the Shvach, the praise of Torah. He says it says on Kalalayim Torah, Malbashtoi anava v'yira. He's cloaked in anava v'yira and humility and Yerushalayim. Elachayid is enwrapped. So he said a very nice thing to Jabbalan. He said famously, the Panovich Rav once went to a Yid in America, a Yid who had grown up in Lita, and the Yid had really completely left the way of Yiddishkeit. A very wealthy man, and the Panovich Rav came thinking that this person had grown up Lamaisa in Cheder. His father had been a Elachayid. Maybe he'll give money. So the person told Panovich Rav, I don't believe in yeshivas, I don't really believe in anything, I don't keep anything, I really no connection to Judaism at all. He says the fact that I married a Jewish woman and I tell my kids were Jewish, like that I even keep that I'm not completely cut off, is only because of the Chavetz Chaim and his coat. So the Panovich Rav, who was a Talmud of the Chavetz Chaim, said, what do you mean? He said, when I was a boy, my father wanted me to go to the yeshiva in Radin by the Heilige Chavetz Chaim, and I went and I traveled, and it was a long way from my house to Radin, and of course there was no money he wasn't going private, and he wasn't even going commercial. He was schlepping himself to Radin, and he finally got there. He asked where the Chavetz Chaim lives. He came to the Chavetz Chaim's house. It was very late at night, and the Chavetz Chaim was sleeping. So he sat down, I guess, on the couch. The Rebbetzin or whoever entered told him where to sit. One of the children, and he sat down over there, and he fell asleep. He was exhausted. The Chavetz Chaim woke up soon after that. The Chavetz Chaim saw him sitting over there, the Bachel, teenage boy, freezing on the couch. So the Chavetz Chaim took off his coat that he wore, and he covered the bacher with it, like a cover, like a blanket. And he said, I've nisht varmkeit of the Chavetz Chaim's mantle. He said, if not the warmth that came into me from the Chavetz Chaim coat, I would have nothing at all. But whenever I go too far, I get pulled back by the warmth of the Chavetz Chaim's coat. So the Jibbodain said, malbashte another year, he touched it, not he's cloaked with another year. Somebody who was like Torah, malbashte, his clothing literally become a shtik another year. That's what he said with that story. So he told us over to Rosh Yeshiva, that's how Matal Weinberg was from the Gedalim of Montreal, was Rosh Yeshiva over here in Yeshiva Gedalim, Literature Yeshiva. And Jibbodain was friendly with him, and he told Matal this taich. So Matal such a nice thing. He said, you find something very unique in this week's parasha, Lashon Hara, Mitzayra Tzaras, talks about Nigei Begadim, not only the afflictions that befall a person who talks Lashon Hara, but there's such a concept that their clothing gets harassed. Now, what does that mean? How does your clothing get harassed? Clearly, speech has that power to affect the person's clothing. That's the way the Ron Shalom made the world. Zakta Matal, we know the rule that the type of Midas Sapranius. Any force in negative, the corresponding force in positive is always going to be stronger. Zakta Matal, if forbidden speech, if impure speech has the ability to make somebody's clothing harass, so Heilige speech has the ability to make somebody's clothing heilig. He says, Milana, who more than the Chavetz Chaim refined his speech to the place that his clothing should have that power on him, because Zaganim al Bashtai Anova V'yera.